need in this creation's pretty little gal in a big plantation. All I want to make me happy is two little boys to call me Pappy. Oh, Black-Eyed Suzie, hey, Black-Eyed Suzie, oh, Black-Eyed Suzie Jane. At any rate, that song is about, that's a courting tune, I guess, about going up and finding your love, Black-Eyed Suzie, and make your creation, start your life. When I was working in Orange County at a welding shop, I had a guy working for me in the welding shop, Murry. Murry was a big guy. He was real skinny, but he was maybe 6'10". We had to build a special station for him, otherwise he'd be all cramped up trying to do his work so he could stand up and not hurt his back and work in the welding. He loved welding. Didn't want to do anything else. Wanted to weld, wanted to be a tradesman, work at that. But he'd had trouble in his life with drugs and alcohol early on. We're only talking, he couldn't have been more than 20 years old when he was working with me. So he joined a Christian cult there in Garden Grove, California, where they all lived together in a really big house. I mean, it's a mansion. And the husband and wife were overseers of the cult, or the halfway house, or whatever you want to call it, where the males, all the men that had joined in, had lived in one half of the house, and the women joined in the other. And Murry met his love of his life while he was in there, and both of them had to give up their entire paycheck every week to the house, their money. At first it went into the group house, and then the two people, the man and woman that ran the outfit, gave them spending cash for the week for lunches and stuff like that, and expenses for living. But other than that, their whole paycheck went. And at the time, it had been between the two of them $400 or $500 a week going into the house. And there were a lot of people living in that establishment, the cult, I guess. And well, he and the girl had changed her name. I don't know what her original name is. His wife to be, is engaged, became a Sarah. And he and Sarah he announced it at work that he and Sarah were going to be married. And he was very vocal about his Christianity, and he'd read, and they studied all the time. He studied the Bible all the time, to the point where it made Eleodoro, one of the other Christians in the outfit, who'd been kicked out of the Catholic Church, I guess, in Mexico for singing La Cucaracha before Catholic classes. At any rate, it was a long story on his part, but Eleodoro chided him all the time about his being crazy and giving his money up and everything like that. But I didn't think much of it. I liked Murry very much, and I trusted his judgment. Well, I didn't know him that well, but I trusted what I knew of him. And so he and Sarah got married. No one was allowed to come to it. It was a real closed in. Only cult members got to go to that wedding. But he announced that it all worked out well, and he was gone for about a week. They had a little celebration between the two, but then they had to stay separated back in the house again, man and woman kind of thing. And they did the study thing, and they had time together. And lo and behold, about 6 months later, there was a big rub up in town. Actually, it was in the paper. This couple that had run the household took off with all the money. They'd saved up all the money from the people that were fooled into giving their paychecks away, and they became at any rate, he was a little disillusioned by it. Didn't break his faith too much. Broke his faith in people a little bit, ministers and things. But it cleared up some of their sight. They got together and they stayed together, he and Sarah. I think she ended up going by her real name after that. But it was pretty interesting how people fall in love and meet and have things happen. Well, that's something I learned in life. Life is a good teacher. It can be rough, but it's a good teacher. So, make this the point of doing my book sales today. I do have two series, Worlds of the Orb Anthology, which I recently re-edited and revised for 2021, and Worlds of the Orb 2. And in Worlds of the Orb 2, I have a story The Lady of the Mist, which in it has star-crossed lovers. This main character, Brick, one of the main characters, Brick, is kind of kidnapped into being married by alternate version of Cinderella. If you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, Amazon Books, Kindle ebook, and Kindle Unlimited, and pick up. You can get, is it a separate story, The Lady of the Mist by W.C. Quick, or the entire book of stories, The Worlds of the Orb 2, that has The Lady of the Mist, The Iron Dragon, and 3 other stories that I hope you find very entertaining and a little bit of slice of life. Thank you.